Welcome back, 412-575-2600 on the Bordas and Bordas hotline. Also taking your tweets at Josh Taylor HD. We will start with Ron, who says, Artie Burns will lock it down on corner tomorrow night. He will take over for Steven Nelson for the next 5 years. Ron, really? I understand. I get it. You think that's funny. I get it. It's cool. But no, let's be serious here. Steven Nelson, you know what interests me the most about Steven Nelson since he's been a member of this defensive secondary? You hardly hear his name. That's a good thing. That's a good thing because that means he's not getting torched and not getting beaten all over the place, kind of like Artie Burns used to a lot. Never mind. Anyway, we'll move on. Let's go to the phone lines. We will start with Judy in Springdale. Hi, Judy.
This is going to be quick because the old lady's getting very sleepy.
Okay, Judy.
First of all, we know that Duquesne had a bye.
Yes, my Dukes were idle tonight, so go Duquesne.
And Slippery Rock had a wonderful game. They were winning by a whole bunch, and then the other team started to, what did they do? Started to catch up, but Chad did wonderful.
Congratulations, Judy.
It was a very good. Don't you laugh at me. I'm sleepy.
I'm not laughing. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you.
Professor, I like your tie, too.
You call me to tell me about your grandsons because you're an excited
Did you play football for Duquesne?
What's that?
Did you play for Duquesne?
No, I was just a student there. I just happened to talk about the team and write about them for a little bit while I was there.
All right, honey, I'm going to bed, but we have to keep rooting for Slippery Rock
Sure, why not?
and Duquesne.
Sure, why not? Well, I'll always root for
Shane
Duquesne.
already
That'll
went
never
to
change.
Youngstown.
Youngstown, don't hold your breath on that one. Sorry, we
On
still
what?
live in Pittsburgh, but that's okay. Judy, I appreciate the call. Judy's excited. Her grandsons play for Duquesne and Slippery Rock, and then one played for Youngstown State. But we're happy for them, so shout out to Judy and shout out to Springdale. Let's go to Mike in Canonsburg. Mike, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hey, good afternoon. Good evening, sir. Hey, I might be jumping the gun, but do you think the offense will be better without Malkin? And I got one more question. It's a shame what's going on with the LA Angels and Skaggs, the employees involved in that young man's death. What ramifications do you think will come of that? Let me hear you, sir.
Man, thank you for the call. To answer your first question, yes, I think you're jumping the gun. Just simply put. I'm not ready to base what we've seen in a week of this offense without Evgeny Malkin to think that they can be that much better without Evgeny Malkin. I'm ready to go there. So, yeah, I do think you're jumping the gun. As far as the Tyler Skaggs question, I heard that when I came in this afternoon from our producer, Jared. We were talking about that because I actually missed it while I was on my way back into town. I literally just came off vacation. But we were talking about Tyler Skaggs. That's a very, very troubling story. Here's the part that bothers me because you have a team employee that has admitted that he, provided opiates to Tyler Skaggs, but there were other things in his blood work when they did the post-autopsy, and that's, that's all well and good. That's fine. That's understandable. But they're also saying at the same time, the guy who administered or gave him the opiates also thinks that they weren't part of the reason that led to his death and the overdose. It's really, it seems like the Angels are trying to cover their own hides. I don't know a better way to explain it. I don't know a way to be nice about it. It seems like they're trying to cover their hides. I can't explain it any better than that. What the ramifications are, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't see what can come from this. I don't see any good coming from it. You had his mom who was with the team when they made their first, after they got done with that road trip. Granted, they were on the road. I believe they were playing the Rangers. They were in Arlington when that happened. So they had to come back home. In that first home game, his mom throws out the first pitch. A really emotional moment for his family and the team. Now they got to go through this all over again. That's the thing that sticks out to me. The ramifications with MLB and the Angels, I won't be surprised if nothing happens. And I'm really being honest about it. Maybe I'll get in trouble for it, maybe I won't. I don't really care. But I really think nothing comes of it on the Angels side or MLB side as far as someone getting in trouble. Maybe, should they? Maybe. Given the evidence and if more comes out, maybe. But that depends on what might get uncovered. But for me, the thing that sticks out is that his mother has to hear about this over and over and over again. And the more this story gets unfolded, and God forbid this thing goes into some kind of legal ramifications, God forbid this goes to court, has to hear this about her son over and over and over again. That's the truly tragic part about this entire story. If you want to really add up, the thing that bothers me the most about this is that I think about his mother having to hear this stuff about her son. And that, at least in my estimation, I'm not expecting much to come from it as far as any kind of ramifications for MLB and the Angels. I just don't. That's just not how this wheel turns. And it's a really cynical way to look at it. But until I start seeing proof of otherwise, I just don't believe it. Let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to Richie in Clearfield. Richie, you're on the Nightly Sports Call. What's up, Richie?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi. What you got for me, Richie?
Oh, I just they playing poorly.
Say that again.
They're playing poor. They
Who?
should get rid of Ben and should get rid of Coach.
Thank you for that, Richie. That was a long wait for not that productive of a phone call, but I appreciate it. Let's talk Pete and Squirrel Hill. We'll talk Penn State. Pete, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hey, Josh, how are you tonight? Welcome back. You've been missed.
Appreciate you. Good to be back.
Hey, Josh, I'm jumping back and forth. You know, it's a myriad of different events tonight. Baseball playoffs, college football, hockey, everything. Going into this Penn State game tonight, Josh, I was 4-1, ranked number 17.
Yeah.
Josh, they haven't scored a touchdown in 3 weeks. How is it possible in this day and age in college football, you cannot, from a Power 5 conference, you cannot score a touchdown in 3 weeks? What do you think about that? Thank you.
My answer to that question is, what in the name of how mummy is happening? You just put it out perfectly. In this modern era of college football, when you have offenses that pretty much deliver points into your hands as long as you do the right things, when you have offenses like the air raid that are designed to just drop points in bunches, an entire conference uses one offensive system, and everybody wonders why there's like 100 points total on almost each game in the Big 12. That's why, because most of the teams are using the air raid because you score a lot of points. You have spread offenses that score a lot of points. You still have the run and shoot that some teams are still using. Granted, there are limited variations of it, but whether it's June Jones or Mouse Davis's version of it, whatever have you, but you got still teams running the run and shoot that's scoring a bunch of points. You have teams that are literally stretching the field horizontally to stretch it vertically for the effort of racking up big plays and scoring points in bunches, and you have teams that still can't do it. It's frustrating to me. It's absolutely frustrating. I see where you're coming from. I had this frustration with Pitt last year, because I thought Pitt had weapons. I thought Pitt had a capable quarterback. I thought Pitt had at least a semi-capable offensive line, especially when it came to running the ball. I thought they were capable of doing it, but they just couldn't score points, and it didn't make sense to me. Now we're starting to see a little bit of a difference there. You're seeing Kenny Pickett make plays. You're seeing the skill players make plays. And I think, honestly, it was just because of the fact that they were doing the right things now to put their players in position to succeed, and they weren't doing it last season, and I think that makes a lot of difference. And that's the thing with a lot of offenses in college football. It baffles me. If you're pitching a shutout, if you're Michigan State getting shut out by Wisconsin, I got to ask you how. And it's not like Mark D'Antonio's a bad coach. He's been doing this for a long time, and he's been churning out a lot of good talent at Michigan State. For them to get shut out by Wisconsin, I don't know whether to give Michigan State credit or give Wisconsin credit or wonder what Michigan State's doing wrong. But that's a great question. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.